In this video, I'm going to teach you how to get a Lyft sign-on bonus in 2025. I highly suggest watching this entire video as I'm going to give you a bunch of steps or give you the steps of how to get that bonus and then give you a lot of pro tips to make even more money. Because in case you didn't know, the Lyft sign-on bonus can be as low as $250, which is still pretty good, and as high as I've seen it being $1,650. It does depend on your location, when and how you sign up, and a few other factors, but overall, the Lyft sign-on bonus can be a lot of money. So I'm going to show you how to get it. Number one, click someone's link. This is massive and definitely the most important one on this entire video. If you go to Lyft.com and sign up, you get nothing. You don't get a sign-on bonus. When I signed up with Lyft, I literally went to Lyft.com. At the time in Boston, they were doing a $1,000 sign-up bonus. I got none of that because I went to Lyft.com, signed up. You have to use someone's code, someone's referral link, something along those lines. Now, you can Google Lyft sign-up code, Lyft sign-up link. You could ask your friends, because in case you didn't know, if somebody refers you to sign up and drive for Lyft, not only do you get that sign-on bonus, but they also get a kickback too. It's kind of like a win-win. So you could even text your friend saying, hey, I remember you used to drive for Lyft. Can I use your code? That way, I get a sign-on bonus. You get money for me signing up using your code. It's a win-win for both of you. If, like, say, you don't know anybody that drives for Lyft, I have my code listed below in the description. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which code you use. One is not necessarily better than another. Just make sure you do use a sign-up code. Because like I said, and I really have to drive this point home, if you just sign up normally through Lyft and you don't have any referral code or link or anything, you get none of this. You have to use someone's link or someone's code to start getting that Lyft sign-on bonus. Number two, create an account. Of course, once you sign up via that link, you're going to create an account. You're going to download the app on your phone. You're going to sign up. The requirements do depend area to area. On this channel, I've done a lot of videos about the different requirements for both Lyft and also Uber as well, I might as well say. And when it comes to them, it is unfortunate that it depends area to area. For example, one thing that's kind of, nationwide is you have to be minimum 25 years or older. If you're under 25, unfortunately, you cannot drive for Lyft. And Uber, as a side note, just did that too. It used to be 21 years and up when it comes to Uber. Now it's 25 years and up when it comes to Uber. I will say, if you're looking for a gig economy type job, you can still do Uber Eats, Postmates, etc. if you are younger than 25, but I want to mention that. In addition, Lyft will run a criminal background check or a normal background check as you think of it, but also a driving history background check. They're going to look into okay, how many speeding tickets have you had, for example. So what you have to do is create a Lyft account, sign up, fill out all the information. It's pretty straightforward of how you have to do it. And then once you get approved, you then go on to step number three, and that is hit the requirements. So this is the way it works when it comes to getting that Lyft sign-on bonus. The first step, you have to use someone's link. You have to use someone's link or someone's referral code. Second step, create an account, sign up, get approved to drive for Lyft. Third step is now you have to hit a certain requirement. The way it works is you have to do a certain amount of rides, it's based off rides, within 30 days. And it's all or nothing. So let's say your sign-up bonus is $800, right? Lyft will say hey, you have to do 100 rides in your first 30 days of signing up in order to get that $800 bonus. If let's say you do 99 rides and then on day 31, you do that 100th ride, you get nothing. So this is a big thing to keep in mind. I'd make sure to check out the requirement immediately because it does depend area to area. In some cities, for whatever reason, they want you to do more rides to get that bonus. In other areas, it's less. It does depend city to city and area to area. Make sure you look into this because another thing I will say, you may be wondering okay, I've not driven before. 100 rides, what does that mean exactly? I say the average driver does about 2 rides an hour. So when I hear I have to do 100 rides, that means 50 hours of driving. You could easily bang that out in a week, for example, right? It does depend. I've seen, though, it be as low as you have to do 80 rides or 70 rides. I've seen it even be as high as you have to do 150 or maybe even 200 rides. So again, it does depend area to area, not only for the bonus you're going to get, but the requirements to hit it. All it comes down to is doing that certain amount of rides, that specific number of rides within that 30 days. With that being said, now I'm going to give you 3 huge pro tips when it comes to getting that sign-on bonus. First thing, wait. As you can imagine, if let's say you have to do like say the worst. I think the highest I've ever seen or heard of is 200 rides in your first 30 days. 200 rides within your first 30 days equals about 100 hours of driving. If you split that up between 4 weeks, you're looking about 25 hours a week. So let's say you're going to do that, and let's say you're going to get $1,000 or $1,250, $1,250 sign-on bonus. Well, if you think about it, if you have a busy month coming up, let's say you're driving part-time, 25 hours you could do in, a few days, like say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but it is a bit tricky. If let's say your month that's coming up has a lot going on for whatever reason, like say you're traveling, for example, I'd suggest waiting. I'd almost suggest wait to sign up until you really know that you can actually drive and put those hours in. Because like I said, even like say at 200 rides, 100 hours, 25 hours a week, not bad. But like say if you have a busy schedule going on at work, like say it's your busy season, for example, it is just not feasible. Now I will say this, Lyft doesn't care the speed that you get to that ride marker under 30 days. Meaning, let's say you have to do 100 rides, about 50 hours of driving. Let's say for the first 3 weeks of you signing up, you do nothing. And then that last week, you go all out and do 50 hours of driving and get those 100 rides. Lyft doesn't care. As long as it's completed within the 30 days, Lyft doesn't really care. But I do suggest, if you know that, let's say, the upcoming future, that upcoming next 30 days of your life is going to be a lot going on, I'd almost rather wait to sign up, then sign up when you know if you have more time to hit the requirement. Number 2, trial run. I have had a lot of people ask me like, hey, Mark, what happens if I get the bonus and I don't feel like driving ever again? You can easily do that. Once you get that bonus, there's no strings attached. Lyft doesn't say like, hey, once you get that bonus, you have to do more rides for us or else we'll go after you. No. Once you get that bonus, you can stop driving completely. And I do think this is a good trial run. Like there are some people who love driving for Lyft and might as well say Uber as well. There are other people, though, who hate it. Maybe in your area, you realize you start driving for Lyft and you realize, wait a minute, I'm making pretty good money doing this. Making pretty good money. Why not continue driving? Or let's say you do it and you're like, you know what, I'm not making that much money at all. I'm going to stop driving. And I look at this in a really good way when it comes to the sign-on bonus as a good kind of like trial run. To be like, okay, I'm going to do 50 hours of this thing, this ride-sharing thing, this Lyft driving thing. Is it for me? Is it not? And what's good about this is, one, like I said, when it comes to sign-on bonus, they don't go after you if you stop driving after it. I will say, which is funny, back in the day, you used to get that sign-on bonus right when you signed up, even if you did not do any of the requirements. Even if, there were no requirements. So right when you sign up and you get approved, you immediately get that sign-on bonus. I think Lyft realized, like, okay, we're losing money just giving people like $1,000 to sign up without doing anything for us. I think that's why they have you do the requirements. So at least that way they're like, all right, we have them drive for us a little bit. We have them work for us for like 40 or 50 hours. We give them this huge bonus. If they stay, cool. If not, no big deal. I think that's kind of this perspective. Second thing I want to say is, remember, you are still making money from those rides. It's not like you're driving for 50 hours and you don't get a penny from Lyft at all, and then you get the sign-on bonus. It's a double whammy. Not only are you making money from that sign-on bonus once you hit the requirements, but you also make money from all those rides that you're doing. And that's, again, another good way to determine, like, okay, I'm making X amount on an hour on average, or this is how much I made in the past week driving. Here's how much money I made driving for 50 hours. Maybe do the math out and determine, like, okay, not only do I like it, but is that financially feasible for me to keep doing this, especially when you factor into like things like wear and tear on your vehicle, the gas that you're going to be spending. I will say I have a video listed below in the description to a bunch of pro tips I have for new drivers. But overall, what's good about this is it's a good trial run, because once you get that bonus, it is no strings attached. Once you hit those requirements and you get that huge sign-on bonus, if you want to stop driving, you can easily do so. And number 3, compounding bonuses. Now, in case you didn't know, when it comes to Lyft and when it comes to driving for Lyft, you can get compounding bonuses in this sense. As you're working your way towards getting that requirement, and let's say doing 100 rides in your first 30 days, of course, you're trying to get that sign-on bonus. But in addition to that, Lyft always has bonuses on. The most simple one, which I don't know if I'd call a bonus, but I guess by definition it is surges. As you can imagine, on a Friday night, Saturday night, morning commuting hours, evening commuting hours, different parts of your city will be paying a little bit more because there's more traffic, there's more demand. Lyft wants to pay you more, so you do those rides. In addition, Lyft sometimes randomly be like, hey, for this upcoming weekend, we're going to pay you $200 if you do X amount of rides. Or this upcoming weekend, you're going to get a 1.25x, meaning whatever money you make, we're going to times it by 1.25 so you get even more money. Lyft is always doing bonuses and incentives and rewards and all this kind of stuff. You can find all this within the Lyft driver app, and you can compound these. And like I said earlier, not only are you making money in general from just doing those rides normally, in addition to getting that sign-on bonus, but now it's almost like a triple whammy as opposed to the double whammy like I talked about earlier, because you're getting that sign-on bonus once you get the requirements. You're also getting the money from doing the rides as you do normally, but also if you look into the bonuses and incentives and everything, that's a huge way to make money. I just posted a video literally yesterday, actually, when I talked about the biggest mistakes new drivers make. And one of the top ones I mentioned, which I noticed between drivers who make a lot of money and those who don't, is looking at the bonuses. The drivers that make a ton of money driving for Lyft, and I might as well say Uber as well, I've noticed have all these strategies and hacks and tricks and tips and everything when it comes to their bonuses in their given area. And again, when it comes to your area, every area is a little bit different when it comes to bonuses. Being able to, and understanding how to optimize those bonuses is one of the best ways to make a lot of money. And that way, if you think about it, for those 50 hours, you can drive, have it be a good trial run, you get that sign-on bonus, you make money from those rides, make money from the other bonuses, almost like compounding bonuses, right? And then at that point, you just made a bunch of money, and then you can determine, because it is no strings attached, do I want to continue driving or do I not want to? Completely up to you. And now a bonus tip, and that is the bonus stagger. And what I mean is you sign up for Lyft, you do all these things I've talked about, you follow my pro tips, you make a bunch of money, you get that sign-on bonus. Then you can go to Uber and do the exact same thing. Now, one of my best pro tips for beginning drivers, I've talked about this in different ways to make more money. I also mentioned this as well. And my biggest mistakes I see from new and beginning drivers is they only sign up with one app. Remember, you can sign up with Lyft, get that big sign-on bonus, then go to Uber and do the exact same thing. And a big pro tip on top of this, like I said earlier, is called the bonus stagger. I suggest, let's say you're like, okay, Mark, I get it. I got to sign up with both apps. It's the best way to make a bunch of money. I've talked about this in so many other videos, but basically it's the best way to make the most amount of money when it comes to Uber and Lyft, to figure out different strategies. Some apps pay more or less depending on your area. Some apps have different bonuses, et cetera, et cetera. But here's the thing. If you sign up with both at the exact same time, Uber also has requirements very similar to Lyft. The last thing I'm going to do is sign up with both. And you're like, shoot, if I want to get both sign-on bonuses, both the Lyft one and the Uber one, you have to do all these rides now. So I suggest, if let's say you are planning on signing up with both apps, which you should, by the way, you 100% should, sign up with Lyft, get that sign-on bonus, or Uber first, whichever one maybe you prefer. Start out with one, do those requirements, get that sign-on bonus. Then take a break, do the other one, get that sign-on bonus, and then you're good. You're good at that point. Because one thing I would say as well when it comes to these apps, they don't have a quota. It's not like Lyft says, hey, we noticed that you got the sign-on bonus and then you didn't drive for us for a month or month and a half. They don't care. You could stop driving for Lyft for a year, and as long as you still hit the requirements, and as long as your car is still okay to drive, for example, and all that kind of stuff, you can immediately start driving. And that's one of the benefits of Lyft and Uber. It is truly instantaneously flexible. And that's what I think makes it so convenient when it comes to this bonus stagger strategy to drive for Lyft, get that sign-on bonus. Once you're done, you stop driving for Lyft, go back to Uber, you do Uber, you get that sign-on bonus. It's almost like a mini trial run for both. And then once you get both sign-on bonuses, you can determine, one, do I even want to keep driving or not? Is it worth it or not? But then two, if you do want to continue driving and you do enjoy it and the money's good, which app pays better in your area? Which app do you prefer? You can go from there and continue driving.